right, Deon, so welcome home. How you guys been?
It's been awesome. It's been a really great tour so far. So we're kind of sad that it's coming to an end.
Definitely, yeah. You've been out with Taking Back Sunday, so I mean, you definitely been enjoying the tour with those guys.
Yeah. Everybody on the tour is just really nice, and we just kind of all love hanging out together and everything. So it's been great. I mean, considering we have to be away from home when we do this, so it's nice to be around people and making new friends.
Definitely. So now, are there any cities that you guys look forward to playing when you're going out?
It's always nice, obviously, to come home. But Salt Lake City is always a great one, like Denver, and Detroit's always awesome. Seattle, there's quite a few of them, but
definitely. All right, now I hear this summer you guys are going over to Australia. What are you looking forward to over there?
It's always so much fun to go back to Australia. I think this will be our 5th time over there now, and it's just, the kids are awesome, and they're really appreciative when bands come over from America, because it's so far away. It's on the other side of the world. It's
right.
A 14-hour flight, So it's just so much fun to play there. Last time we were there was on the Soundwave Festival, and that was just incredible. So we're looking forward to going back and playing some club shows and just having a lot of fun.
Definitely. Now, what would you say are some of your most favorite venues to play? Like smaller, like kind of like this, or the big, huge fests, or what?
Huge festivals are cool just because it's really cool to be on a big stage and just see a ton of people. But it's really fun when you're playing just a good stage inside of a big venue where it's just there's just people all around, up the balcony, down on the floor, and it just gets hot and sweaty in there, and everybody's just having fun, and you got the lights going and everything. So I think I kind of prefer to play in an actual venue to the outdoor festivals, but we did War Pro last year, and it was kind of, after 2 months of playing outdoors every single day,
right.
It was you kind of have your fill of it for a while.
Definitely. Now, as far as being on tour and things like that, what's something you've got to have? What do you need to have every time you go out?
I bring my pillow from home. Nice. That's the main thing that I always do. I remember one tour I didn't have it, and I was just it just felt kind of weird, because first of all, I have to sleep with 2 pillows just because a thing. I always end up having neck problems if I don't, but it just feels, it's really nice to bring the pillow I sleep on home out on the road, because then I can it's to kind of bring a piece of home with me, so that helps a lot.
Definitely. Let's see about being on the road. Eating a home meal is not something you usually get. So when you get a couple of weeks off, what do you like to have?
I usually go to a lot of times when I get home, I'll go visit my family, and there's a really good Mexican restaurant in the town I grew up in, and it's just full on home style, straight out of the mom's kitchen, Mexican food, and it's been owned by the same couple for years and years and years. So that's always one of the places I always like to go to. But when actually being at home, I kind of like just to try. I like cooking,
Mm-hmm.
So when I get home, I kind of just cook my meals that I like to do and everything, just to kind of. I love listening to music and making food. So
what's your signature dish? What do you like doing?
I don't think I really have a signature dish, but I'm not a chef or anything. But one thing I love cooking is I love meatballs. So I love doing a meatball marinara.
Nice.
That's one of the things I always do, because the next day I just have meatball subs with the leftover meatballs. So
exactly.
It's kind of a double meal.
Definitely. Now I hear you're thinking about recording the next album. Have y'all started writing anything yet? And got a producer picked out?
No, we're in the very early stages. We are I think on Friday is when we're just releasing our 2nd single, and we wrote so quick after the release of Cities that we're kind of really taking our time, and we're kind of just in the discussion phase right now. We're kind of just throwing ideas back and forth, and basically trying to just talk about what we want to do, because the last album, it almost felt rushed because of how quickly we did it after Cities. I mean, we had the songs there, but we just felt like we didn't discuss it. I mean, like we had in the past. So this time we really want to make sure we kind of know what direction we want to head in before we really start putting out or getting the music laid down and everything. So nothing really written yet. I mean, there's a couple of the guys have songs, like a couple songs demoed out and stuff, but I mean, it's just very rough, like early stuff, you know.
Right.
So.
Any names or anything picked out for like an album title? Nothing still open.
No producers, no anything.
Now, when you guys do write songs, like, how does it come? Like, do you guys start out on the road, or y'all go in like to the studio to write songs?
It's done mostly. I mean, we do pretty much the whole last album. A lot of the last album was written on tour, because actually the last 2 albums, just because we do tour so much, we don't really take time off to write. I think this album we are actually going to do that for the first time, so we're going to have a little bit more writing at home than we normally do, and we moved into a new practice space last year, so we finally have like our own place, whereas before we were kind of like borrowing friends' spots and everything, so we're not really bound to time constraints and things like that. So, I mean, it's usually a mix of being, at home, being on the road. Just kind of really depends on where we are when like that song idea comes about.
Right, definitely. Now, being a veteran of the Florida music scene, what advice do you have for up and coming bands?
I'd say just don't get in a hurry. I think too many bands, when they first start out, they want to rush to play like their first show, and they want to rush to get out their first demo, and they're more excited about making a T-shirt than they are about learning all their songs, and things like that. So, I mean, it's I think bands should practice for months and before they play their first show, just because it's gonna obviously make you better and tighter as a band. But I mean, when you play your first show, it's gonna be your first impression, obviously. So it's always good to try and make it the best one you can. So I don't know. I mean, there's plenty of time out there. You can't rush good songs. You can't rush like a vibe that a band has, and so I would just say like be patient and just enjoy it and have fun. Don't try to become a rock star overnight. It doesn't work that way.
Exactly. Now, iPods are pretty much a must-have at this point.
Yeah.
What new music do you have on yours?
I've actually kind of I haven't really got any new albums. I think I was listening to the new Kings of Leon a lot because it's such a good album. But I kind of gotten some older stuff from like the 90s and early 2000s lately. That I just started listening to Dismemberment Plans, Emergency and I, just a kind of a really crazy early I think it was like 2002 or something whenever the album came out, but it was just like a really a unique band. They definitely had their own sound, and I'd heard people talk about him. My tour manager Andy's a huge fan of them, and I just was in a record store one day and I saw their album and I was like, hey, what's the name of that album you said was the one you liked the most? And I bought it, and I've been listening to that a lot. And I was at a record store in Boise on this tour, and there was Nine Inch Nails Broken was in the used bin for $5, so I was like, heck yeah. So then I bought Downward Spiral, and I don't know, I just kind of I think I got some of the older Beastie Boys albums, and then I kind of like every now and then I don't get bored with new music, but I kind of just every now and then want to revisit albums that I've listened to a lot. So
definitely. Now, has a fan ever given you guys anything as the band special, like a drawing or anything like that?
We had one fan, and she gave us in Baltimore. She made a bunch of donations on our behalf to the whole Gap Red campaign, and she bought us some necklaces that they're I guess they whatever. However much they cost, that money is all donated. So we thought it was cool, and she made a donation to some charity on our behalf too. So I would thought that was a really cool gift that someone would do for us. They would kind of buy completely charitable things to give us as gifts rather than I mean, it's always nice to get a cake too, but
Right.
I always thought that was like kind of one of the more thoughtful gifts that we've ever gotten from a fan.
Definitely. Now on Warped Tour, we had a chance to interview Steven, and Drew had brought a CD for him to check out, and you guys weren't able to get a copy of it apparently. So I've got a copy of it that I made for you guys there.
Oh, man.
So definitely wanted to get you guys that.
I'll be sure to throw this away right